The fiery trials of life. 1 Peter 4:12 and 13. Dear friends, do not be surprised at the fiery trial, the fiery ordeal that has come on you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you. But rejoice that you share in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed at the revelation of his glory. And at times throughout our lives we will all experience and endure the fiery trials of life. And as the title suggests, fire is painful, and so too will our trials be. We need not be taken by surprise and think to ourselves, what is happening to me? Why is this unusual trial, this trouble, sadness or depression, hardship, financial pressure, family problem, health problem, etc. come upon me? What have I done wrong? Have I offended God, and is he punishing me? Is he making me pay for my past? And you may think to yourself, why am I having all these troubles and other people seem to fall into so much blessing? Why has God singled me out for all this misery? Job also asked the same question as well, and myself. I asked the same question many years ago. Why has God singled me out for all this misery? It's like I had become a target for him to shoot arrows at me just to practice. In fact, Jeremiah felt exactly the same in Lamentations 3:12. He drew his bow and made me the target for his arrows. Jeremiah felt like this about God, and I felt, why? Why out of the hundreds of thousands of believers have you picked on me to endure 26 years of being single when my whole heart and being long for companionship? And of course, as I look back now, I have no regrets of my age when God provided, nor any other thing. The Lord was wanting to give me a greater blessing. Indeed, probably greater than many others have received, because I had to endure so much longer a particular trial than many, and in faith, without giving up or turning to the right or to the left, or turning my back on Jesus during the lowest times in my life. And for you listening to this, I want you to be encouraged when tough times come. Indeed, the trials and the weary times that seem to go on and on relentlessly, month after month, and sometimes year after year. I want you to know that God our Father has a greater blessing for you than many others who do not have the gift, maybe the ability to endure hardship for a long time like you're going through. And the first thing I had to accept during my trials, we are not to be surprised or taken back and wonder what on earth is going on. What is this strange thing happening to me? God does not want us to be taken by surprise. He wants us to be aware and alert, and to know that through the most awful darkness of our life, the fire and the pressure, there is you and I being prepared for a far greater, wonderful and exceeding gracious blessing. That first starts with the God's glory and presence, and then overflows into blessings we are longing for and praying for in our lives. The greater blessing is the fuller glory and the presence of God in our lives, a deeper closeness and knowledge and understanding of him. The verse goes on to say, rejoice, which can be very hard in the most darkest times of your life, yet we are asked to rejoice, that through this we shall experience more of God's glory, his amazing brightness, his deep love, his boundless peace and comfort. We know from Scripture that praise is a powerful weapon against the enemy and a wonderful healing for us. Our suffering can be in the form of persecution or just personal trials. Whatever it may be, whatever they are painful to us, and we are told that we share in the sufferings of Christ through our toughest times. We also have the word overjoyed. And after the trial and also during it, we will be overwhelmed by the wonder of God's presence and comfort. You may not feel it at the time, but you will experience being overjoyed. Oftentimes during my distressing times, I have known the peace, the love, the kindness of God far greater than any other times. In fact, I would go to say that I've known God's perhaps love, peace and kindness greater than any other times when things are tough. Some people seem to suffer so much more than others, and I don't know why, but I do know that there's a greater reward from God, who alone is the one who will say to you that your rank with those worthy of a great reward. I have never enjoyed fiery trials, but I have always been greatly blessed by God through them, and may you know the great love and strength of our God during your darkest hour.